The content you're about to enjoy comes from the archives of The Best You. We're devoted to the very best in personal development. With a magazine and resources dedicated to inspiring and changing people's lives. At The Best You, we work with the world's leading writers and trainers on the evolution of the self, and people whose journeys have been affected by their work and words. For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.
Yes, so we were together. I had mentioned during my talk that I did just now on Amazon Prime with Dee Dee Wong for Speak Up Season 2.
Yes.
So how's it feel to be able to see yourself on TV?
Oh, man. It feels kind of weird in the beginning, but you get used to it for sure.
You get used. Oh, she's a star now. She's like, oh, you get used to it. You get used to it. Well, I want to go ahead and introduce you so you can get started on your talk. So it says, Amy was born in Taiwan and her family immigrated to the United States when she was 13. Growing up in a family of educators, she had learned the value of contribution at a very young age. Her life's purpose is to help people become the best version of themselves, just like me, through personal development. After being mentored by Bob Proctor for 18 months, she created her own coaching program called the Opulent Academy. I love that name. A results-based organization with educational programs that focus on the power of the mind. She is also working on publishing several books and just helping people with their journey and everything. And so I really appreciate you being here with us. And I love, like I said, I love the name of your organization. So thank you for being here and welcome to The Best You.
Thank you. Thank you, Crystal. So, hi everyone, welcome. And I hope everyone is enjoying the Best You EXPO. Today is the last day. There's a lot of speakers and a lot of prizes. I hope everyone is having a great time. So today my talk is going to be on how to attract your opulent life. I get asked a lot, what does the word mean by opulence? So I like to define it for you. The word opulence means having an abundance of wealth full of richness. And when I talk about wealth, it's not just about money, as only money is one form of wealth. There's actually 3 planes of wealth. Number 1 is material things, so like money. Number 2 is intellectually, so intellectual property, your thinking, your thoughts, your mindset. Number 3 is spirituality. So knowing who you truly are and how are you connected to the higher power. Some people might call it the universe. Some people call it God. Some people call it higher power, whatever you call it. So what's your connection with that infinite intelligence? And the true essence is actually true wealth is identifying ourselves with the spirit of opulence. So opulence is a state of mind. It starts with your thinking. It's the ability to think lavishly, freely, liberally, with no restriction. And I truly believe that each and one of us deserves to live an opulent life. And that's the reason why I started my company called the Opulent Academy, is to show people how to live an opulent life. So with that, I wanted to also talk about the first part, which is attracting. I'm sure a lot of the viewers have heard the law of attraction, right? What does that mean? So law of attraction is actually one of the laws. So there's a lot of laws in the universe. So this whole universe actually governs by law. And the law of attraction is only one of the laws. And that's actually the secondary law. The first primary law is law of vibration. So what the law of vibration says that everything you will attract into your life, if you're on the same vibration or it's the same frequency as the thing you want, whether that's more money or more freedom or better house, bigger car, whatever it is that you want, you have to first become a match to it on the same frequency. So, and that's the word law of attraction comes in. So when I talk about living your opulent life, it's not about working hard. It's not about hustling. It's actually rather effortless and ease with ease if you know how to use the law of attraction. Okay? And for some of you that have read the book, Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, he talks about that in the book. He said that there is a science behind getting rich. So what that means is once you know the formula, then it doesn't matter what your background is, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter if you're male, female, does not matter. Once you know how to apply the formula, you will live a rich life. So that book is also what inspired Rhonda Byrne to start the book or the movie, The Secret, for those of you who may not know. So in the book, again, Wallace D. Waddell talks about that there is a science of getting rich. And the way to do that is actually based off of a certain way of thinking, a certain way of doing things, and everything is operated by law. So today, I'll be sharing with you a few laws on how so you can start living an opulent life. So there is actually a saying. It's called, in life, you don't get what you want. You get who you are. So a lot of people quoted that, even Les Brown quoted that as well. So in life, you can have anything you want. You can have anything you want, but first you have to become that person. So I'd like to share with you the success formula on how to attract your opulent life. And it's very simple. It's just 3 words. Be, do, have. I'm sure some of you have heard that before. Maybe the sequence is a little bit different. Maybe your taught, like myself, is to do, have, be. Or even the opposite, which is have, do, be. A lot of people think that, once I have the money, then I can quit my job. Then I'll be happy, right? That's the opposite. That's have, be, have, do, be. Okay. The right way to say it is actually be, do, have. And I like to break it down each of the sentence for you. Be. How do you be? You started the beingness by your thoughts, in your thinking. You want to be opulent in your thoughts. How do you want to live? How do you want to be? Right? With no limit, no restriction, it's freely, lavishly, however you want to live. Okay? Everything starts in your mind. What kind of life you want to create for yourself? It starts in the beingness, which is your thought. Okay? So be first. The second step is do. Once you create the life you want in your mind and think about how you want to be, then the next step is do. This is when you actually go out and actually contribute and give service, provide. Okay? So, and then once you give, then you can have. Okay? Once you're able to contribute to other people, your services, then you can have anything you want. You can have the bigger house, you can have money in the bank, you can have freedom, you can have friends around the world, an opulent life, whatever you want. Okay? But again, this is not the way we were taught. And I didn't know this, and I bet some of you didn't know this either. We were taught, we were programmed to how to do, right? We were focusing on do, I gotta do more. It's not about doing more. Rather, it's about being. Okay? Think about this. We're called human beings. We're not called human doings. Right? So with that, it comes with just the awareness of just switching how we see things. Okay? So I also broke down these 3 simple formula to 6 steps that you can actually create. You can actually start applying. So not only am I going to go over the steps for you to understand how to live an opulent life, I'm also be showing you the tools and techniques that you can actually apply today. So you can start seeing the shift right away. And if you apply this consistently, I promise you, your life would never be the same. Okay. So with that, step 1 is conscious awareness. Awareness is 90% to change. You have to first become aware of something in order for you to change it. Because you cannot change something if you're not aware of it. right? You don't know what you don't know. So think about this. You know what I'm talking about when you actually reflect to your life. Every day when you wake up, you move into a routine. You're on autopilot, right? You wake up, there's a routine that you move into. You may drive the same way to work, talk to the same people, do the same things, and at night you come home and you all over again. There's a routine. Okay? So you're not going to think about the opulent life in your thinking if you don't change something about it, because you're just in autopilot, right? You're doing the same thing, getting the same results over and over and over again. Okay. So the first step is to have a conscious awareness of what opulence means. Okay. And each one of us deserves to have an opulent life. So I'll share with you my story, how I became aware. So I started my personal development journey 4 years ago. Prior to that, I was in the autopilot. I didn't know that I didn't know, right? Every day I went to work, and then the weekend comes, and then Monday goes back again. But deep down inside, I knew there's got to be more, because I don't believe that we're just here on earth to go to work, right? Pay bills, and then I'll repeat all over again. Like we were meant for more. So that's when I started going to personal development events. That's when I found out who I truly am and what my purpose is, right? But I had to put myself in that environment to shift, to learn something. And that's when I became aware. However, when I started going to personal development journey, I started attending different seminars. And I guess you could call me a seminar junkie at the time. I was doing a lot, right? Again, I was doing a lot because I felt stuck. I don't know about you, but anyone who's listening, have you ever felt stuck?
It is said that we live in a world our questions create. And it's true. Those that have succeeded in life, those that stand out, those that have made a difference, those that are inventing, those that are exploring, pushing the boundaries of reality are based on those that have asked themselves empowering questions. In my new book, The Question, Find Your True Purpose, I help you find your true purpose, find your legacy. For more information, go to www.thequestion.co. If you're interested in working with me, contributing, speaking at any of our many events, partnering, or licensing The Best You, for more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.
You're not actually stuck. You're not physically stuck, right? You're not a tree. You can move. But when people say they're stuck, it's because they're stuck in their thinking. And they cannot seem to get out of it. So that's the reason why consciousness starts in the thinking. In order to have something different in your life, in order to live an opulent life, you have to be able to think liberally, freely, however you want to be. Okay? So how do you become aware, you ask? Well, going to seminars like this, like Best You, listening to other experts on how they became, what they've learned. This is how you can start becoming aware. However, when you start becoming aware, it's important that you don't just listen to this information. You actually have to apply. Okay, so I'll give you the first action steps to be raising your awareness is to decide, okay, how you want to become and study. It's all about study. You're not aware of something until you study. When you study, then you're like, oh, I didn't know there's a certain way. I didn't know. Now you become more aware of things. Okay. And you can decide how you want to be at any given moment. Okay. Remember I talked about the beingness. You don't need to wait until you have money in the bank to be happy. No, that's totally the opposite. That's do, have, be again. Okay. You can start being. You can start feeling happy because you choose to at any given moment. Okay, so that's the step one. And that leads us to step two, which is find your purpose, create your vision, and set a goal. What is your purpose? If you don't know what your purpose is, don't worry about it. Okay, as you grow, maybe as you go through your life journey, you're going to find your purpose. But I want to help you. Your purpose in life is simply to do what you love to do. That's it. It's not something big like, oh, I gotta help the whole community, okay, or the whole world. It doesn't have to be something huge. Just finding your purpose is doing what you love to do. So think about this. What do you love to do? Do you love to paint? Do you love to sing? Do you love to help people? Start with that. Follow your feelings. Your feelings will guide you to your true purpose. Okay? Once you know your purpose, the second step is create your vision. Create your vision how you want your life to look like. So maybe 3 years out or 5 years out. And include all areas of your life. So what would you love to live? How many houses would you like to have? You want to have more than one? You want to have around the world? How much freedom do you have? Time freedom. How do you spend your days? What about your family? How about your car? How about your kids? Right? What do you do for work? For your purpose? I really want you to start thinking about a vision for yourself, how you want to live. After you have the vision set up, then the next step is your goal. Set a goal. So goals are taking chunks out of your vision. So goals are no more than a year. So you can set a quarterly goal, you can set a 6 months goal, or you can set a 1 year goal. Okay, so just taking chunks of your vision. And when you set a goal, don't set a goal that you know how to do, or you think you can achieve. Rather, I want to challenge you, and I want you to start setting a goal that you really, really want. Something that's what I call a fantasy goal. What would you love? Think about when you were kids, something that you said you want to do, but maybe because growing up, you forget, right? Because you don't know the how. And here's a very important point. When you set a goal, you're not going to know how to achieve it, but you just know you will. Okay? You just know you will. So think about it. Think about what kind of life would you like to live? Again, it starts with your thinking. To think lavishly, abundantly, freely in your mind first, with no restrictions. Okay, so let's go all out. Tap into your imagination and think about what kind of life do you really want to create and set a goal. Okay, so there's actually 3 criteria when setting a goal. Number 1 is you have to make sure your goal challenge your thinking. You don't know the how. Okay. Number 2 is it challenge your self-image. And I'm going to talk more about self-image in the next step. Okay. Number 3 is it challenge your belief system. Don't believe it when you set the goal yet. Okay. But again, you know that you will. Because going after a goal that you really, really want, that's what's going to inspire you. If you're just going after something you know you can do, there's no inspiration in that. And that's the reason why a lot of the New Year resolution fail by the end of February, because people are not inspired. It's just hoping or wishing, oh, it would be nice if I earn this amount of money. It would be nice if I have this ideal weight. It would be nice. But it's not a true desire. Okay? And that's the reason why people don't go through with it. So be sure to write down your goals, and it's something that you really, really want. Okay. With that, your action step is to take some time this weekend to really write out the vision of your life, how you would like to live with no limit. Okay. Just let your mind go out. Think freely, lavishly. Okay. What would I love? And just write them down. Okay. Don't think about the how. Like, I don't know how it's going to happen. Don't worry about that. Just write them down. Okay. And set that as your goal. Once you have a vision, once you set a goal, the next step is your self-image. What is your self-image? A self-image is how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself. And the word self-image, I want to break it down. It's actually self. And there's a few other terms. The other one is called self-worth, self-love, self-confidence. Everything starts with the self. And The true self, the true you is perfect. I'd like to share a concept with you, which is we are a spiritual being living in a physical body with a mind. Okay? So the essence of who we are, the essence of who you are is perfect. There's nothing to be fixed. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay? You just want to always be better, right? Always want to strive to be the next best version of you. Think about our phones, right? We spend so much money on upgrading our phone, right? When the next phone comes out, I don't know, right now it's 10.0. I don't know how many versions I don't even know. But when was the last time you upgraded you? Right? Because we're the same as, if we want to spend time on upgrading our phone, you want to spend the time on upgrading you. So who is the next best version of you? Okay, think about that. I really want you guys to start thinking about that. Okay, so in different areas of your life, and when you think about the self-image, think about in alignment with your goal. Okay, who is that person who's already living the kind of life that you want? How does he talk? How does he or she talk? How does he or she be? Right? Is she or he confident? Are you a leader? Are you a great communicator? How are you being? Remember, let's focus on the beingness before you can do and have. Okay? So, and with the self-image, it's quite interesting. How do you know where your self-image is at? Well, by looking at your current results. Take a look at your current results. What kind of relationship you have with others? What kind of physical asset do you have? Or what about your spirituality? How much free time you have? All these things, look at your external result. Then that tells you what kind of self-image you have. Okay? And the truth is, you can never, ever outperform your self-image. So if you want to live an opulent life, you have to first see yourself as that person and start being it before you can have. Okay? So really create that clear mental picture of who that person is. And I want to also talk about the self-worth. Self-worth plays a huge part in your self-image. How much are you worth? And I'm not talking about your net worth, as in terms of your assets, your real estate and stocks and money, all that. No, I'm talking about you. How much do you value yourself? Are you in the habit of letting other people determine how much you're worth? Okay? Or are you depending on how many likes, how many followers you have on social media? Then you feel worthy, because once you have 10,000 followers, then you're like, oh, then I'm worthy. No, you got to feel worthy first. Remember, be first, then you can do and have. Okay? And just know that your self-worth controls how much money you earn. Okay? It controls all areas of your life. So find out what's your self-worth. And your self-worth, you determine your self-worth. Don't let other people determine that. Okay? So with the self-image, the action steps for you is to write down who you want to be, who you want to become, okay? In all areas of your life. Who is the self-image who is already living an opulent life? Does that person think freely, abundantly, lavishly? How does the person act? Okay. I really want you to start thinking about and creating that image for yourself so you can start living an opulent life. Okay. So in my academy, we actually take this a little bit deeper, the self-image, where we take you through a 6 weeks program on find out how your old self-image was formed and how to get rid of the old self-image so you can step in and embrace the new self-image so you can start becoming the next best version of yourself. Okay, a step-by-step system to show you how to do that. And when I became a coach, so before I became a coach, I was in real estate. I was a realtor. Before I decided to become a coach, I had to see myself in my mind first, who I want to become, which is a coach, before I became one. Okay. So again, beingness is the first step. Who do you want to be? Okay. So after you know your self-image, what's the next step? Next step is number 4, which is decision. Decision. The word decision comes from the Latin word decidere, to decide. Okay. So D means off. Cidere means to cut. To decide literally means to cut off. What are you cutting off from? Well, you're cutting off from your limiting beliefs that's been holding you back. You're cutting off from the old identities, old labels, old stories of who you think you are. Okay. So if you want to start living an opulent life, first, again, you have to create a self-image. After you create a self-image, you have to let go. Let go of the old so you can embrace and step into the new. Because you cannot become the new version of you holding on to the memory of the past. It will never happen. So you have to let go. So making a decision to cut off, to really let go of the old way of thinking, old way of showing up. Okay? So to decide. And there's a second step to decide. After you decide and cut off, making some decision, making some changes of how you want to show up, the second step is taking the action that's in alignment with the self-image. So now that you make a decision, the next step is to take action. Start showing up as that person. So I want to share my own personal journey and personal story with you, how that happened. So after I became a coach, the next step, my goal was to become a speaker. So literally a year ago, I made a decision that I wanted to become a speaker. Mind you, at that time, I was not a speaker. And at that time, I was my own self-image was shy, right? I didn't think that I was a good speaker, but I made a decision and I had to see it in my mind. Remember, create that image in my mind first. I didn't know how. I had no idea how that was going to happen. But I made a decision to do that. And guess what happened? After I made the decision, 4 months later, I attracted my speaking coach, who's also my speaking mentor. She's actually one of the speakers here, Didi Wang. So I attracted her 5 months later after I made the decision. And I met her at a virtual networking event. Okay? So when I met her, I immediately knew that that's what I wanted because I made a decision. And the universe actually showed me, provided me with the how. Okay. So because of Didi, that's the reason why I'm here at the Best You, because she recommended me to speak at the Best You EXPO, along with other platforms like the Amazon Prime TV show called Speak Up. So once you make a decision, guys, the universe will conspire to help you with that action. This is by Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said that once you make a decision, the universe will conspire to make it happen for you. This is how you attract the how. You're not going to know the how when you make your goal, when you write out your vision, when you set up a goal. You're not going to know the how on how to achieve your goal. But as you making a decision to do that, the universe will help you to attract the resources you need, the people you need, the money you need to make that happen. Okay. And I also want to share the backstory with that is that, again, the universe operates by law. So once you make a decision to become maybe the CEO of your own company, maybe now you're at a 9-to-5 job, but once you make a decision, you're going to start your own company. You flip yourself onto the frequency of that goal. And what happens? Law of attraction sets up. Then it will start attracting ideas and people and resources to help you with that. I cannot emphasize how important it is on the power of decision. But once you do that, once the opportunity comes, what happens? You still have to make a decision to take action, right? So when Didi asked me to speak at the Best You EXPO, the first thing I said, yes, of course, right? I jumped onto it. Was I fearful? Oh yeah, of course, right? But I did it because this is what I wanted. I wanted to become a speaker, and I attracted the opportunities for me to do that, right? So I was starting to act like that person. So if I wanted to become a speaker, then think about, what does a speaker do? A speaker speaks. If you want to become a painter paints. If you want to become a writer, if you want to write your own books, if you want to become an author, what does an author do? What does a writer do? They write, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you. And also, this is what your action step is. First, decide on something that you really want. So maybe you've been thinking about, in the back of your mind, you want to start your own business. For instance, you want to quit your job. Okay? Make a decision on when you would like to have that happen. Maybe not now, but actually decide, create a plan. Maybe at the end of the year, you would like to do that, right? Making that decision. Afterwards, create the action steps. Okay, what are you going to do? Again, I'm not telling you to quit your job right away tomorrow. No, but create a plan, right? So what you can do, for instance, you can start looking at, okay, you want to become your own CEO. What would you like to create? What kind of company would you like to have? What kind of service would you like to provide? So you can start doing some research, right? So get you to start thinking, right, like that person, and taking the action that's in alignment with that self-image. Okay, so your action step is make a decision, and then also write out one action steps that you can take today. Okay, one action step, not many, just one. Okay, and start acting, like behaving like that person, showing up like him or her, okay, who's in alignment with your self-image. Okay, that's step 4. Step 5 is, after that, once you're a being, right? So the couple steps before, it's all focusing on the beingness. Now, once you've figured out how you want to be, the next step is what you want to do, right? And what you want to do is start giving.
To find out about my latest projects, get a free coaching lesson, or download my book, go to www.bernardo-moya.com.
So I mentioned about different laws already. And the law of giving and receiving is really how you can start living an opulent life. Even Tony Robbins, he said that the secret to living is giving, right? And when I talk about giving, I'm not just asking you to give your money, okay? You don't have to give money necessarily. You can give your time. You can give your energy. You can give your loyalty, right? You can give a lot of things, not just monetarily. Okay? And once you start giving, so giving sets off the motion of receiving. Okay? So we were taught in school, this is when I was taught in school as well, is that we were taught to become little go-getters, right? Go get this, go get this. We were always trying to get, right? Imagine if you were raised to learn about little go-givers. Instead of getting from people, to start giving, right? Start giving your service, giving your time, giving your energy. Whatever you can give your service. Okay? Contribute to the world. That will set up a force, because you have to give first before you can have. Again, the be, do, have. You have to first give before you can have. Right? Not the other way around, which is, I will change when outside changes, right? Sometimes you hear people say that, when my kids go to college, then I can focus on me, then I will start a business, and then I'll be happy, right? They're always conditioned about something outside of them to change before they can change. No, that's not how it works. You have to first be, okay? Think about how you want to be, and then start taking action. Okay, so giving is part of the action. Okay, and there's a saying is that you want to willingly give and graciously receive. Because when you give, the receiving part is going to come in. But when you receive, you want to be able to receive it. And that has a lot to do with your self-worth. Because you can give until the cows come home. But if your self-worth, your self-image is not at par with the person who's receiving all the good, you're not going to be able to receive it. You're going to reject it because you don't think you're worthy. So do you see, everything is tied in together. Once you give, then you can receive. But we have to make sure your self-image is at the same level as what you're receiving. Okay? So that same thing with opulent life. You have to be able to create the self-image so you're able to receive all the good you desire. Okay? So the action steps with that is to today pick one area of your life that you can start giving. Again, giving your time, giving your service, giving your energy, right? However way you can start giving, okay? Give now, okay? Don't wait until, I'll donate to a charity when I earn more money, okay? That's conditioned. No, you start giving now. Give what you can now. Okay? Totally the opposite. So feel free to give maybe a charity or just maybe give to your service, your clients, give more to them, okay? Pour into your service, okay? So that's step 5 in the giving part, okay? Lastly, once you set up the giving part, then you're ready to receive. The 6th step is called attitude of gratitude, okay? So having a grateful heart. When you are grateful for something, that puts you in the state of mind to receive more, right? Because whatever you put your energy to or whatever you put your attention to, it's going to grow and expand. So think about this. If every day you're grateful for something, you're grateful for everything that you have in your life, you have a grateful heart, what's going to happen is the universe, again, okay, it's going to attract, it's going to give you more things to be grateful for. Okay, so I know it's important to set up a goal, okay, but remember the purpose of setting the goal is to grow. It's not to get the big car. It's not to get the big house or more money, okay, although you're going to get those for sure, okay, but that's not the purpose. The purpose is for you to grow, to becoming the next best version of you. That's the whole purpose of setting the goal. So while you are, while you're working on accomplishing your goals, do not forget to slow down and be present. Be present in the moment. Be present and be grateful of what you currently have. Okay? Because it's not just about the destination. The destination is as important as the journey. When you're focusing on your goal, when you're achieving, when you're going after and living your dream life, don't forget to slow down and smell the roses and to really focus on the smaller things in life. Those are the smaller things that's make life worth living. And especially during this time, during pandemic, I am really grateful that because I'm not able to travel, I'm staying home more often, then I actually get to see my parents. So I actually get to spend more time with my family. And there's always good in something, okay? Doesn't matter good or bad. There's opportunity, there's always two sides of things. And that's another law. It's called law of polarity. Everything in life, there's always a good side of it, and there's the bad side. So, but again, what you focus on is going to expand. So let's talk about pandemic for a while. So of course, this pandemic going on is affecting a lot of people. There's families that are not able to see each other, right? But on the other hand, there's also families that are able to spend more time with each other, and they've been close more than ever, right? And on the other side, look at nature, right? Now that nature is actually being able to breathe because there's less people on the street. right? So what I'm saying is there is always good side to things. We just have to look in the good for everything. Okay. So think about this. So your action step is for you to right now write out 3 things that you're grateful for. 3 things. First thing is something that's happened in the past. So maybe yesterday, maybe you had a great dinner, for instance. Be grateful for that. So something happened in the past. Okay. And write out, the second thing is write out something that you're grateful for in the present moment, right now. What can you be grateful for? Okay. I'm grateful for being able to speak at Best You. I'm grateful for having the internet, right? So I don't have to go anywhere, and yet I can talk to all of you. Number 3 is giving gratitude to something that's yet to happen in the future. So we don't always just give gratitude for something that's already happened, that's in the past. Okay? We want to give gratitude in advance for things that are yet to happen. So I give gratitude to the amazing 2021 that we're all going to be having. Okay, so give gratitude to that. And then most importantly is don't do it just to get things done. Okay, again, we are human beings. We're not human doing. Okay, it's not about getting it done, like checking it off. Okay, I've done my gratitude. No, it's not about the motion of that. It's to get into the feeling. Okay, if you're just writing things down because you have to, you're not going to feel it. Okay, and there's no purpose for that. Okay, so again, do the gratitude, right? So maybe you can go out and buy a gratitude journal, but I want you to really feel it. Really feel the feeling of gratitude. Okay? So you don't need to write down 10 things you're grateful for. You can just write down 3 things, but you can really tap into the feeling. Okay? Once you are tapping into the feeling of gratefulness, the universe will help you to bring more things to be grateful for. That's how the universe works. Okay? So that's your action step, to write out 3 things that you're grateful for. Okay? And lastly, I'm very grateful that because of my own personal development journey and my awareness that I am living an opulent life. And I know that each and every one of you can also live an opulent life. For you, all you need to do is make that decision. Make that decision on how you want to live your life. Not what your parents want, not what your spouse wants, not what your kids want. What do you want? What kind of life do you want to create? Okay? How do you want to live your opulent life? Just make that decision today, okay? Because you are worth it. Thank you.
For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.